Okay, so I'll share. All right. Can you see top ones? All right. Okay, so our discussion for tonight is all about the anatomy of the multiple choice. Let's say, for example, you have 100 items, or let's say you have 450 items all in all. So, dapat po, lahat po is, dapat po lahat, kailangan nyo po dapat matanaw nyo po lahat yung mga questions. So, you cannot go to a battle na you're not ready, okay? So aside from you're not studying or not reading with your reviewers, much more, kahit po hindi po kayo studious, kahit po hindi po kayo nagbabasa maigi, kapag marunong po kayo nito, or you master this one, you master the secrets of test taking or the anatomy of multiple choice, you can ace the exam or even to top. Kayang-kaya po yan kahit hindi po kayo nagbabasa as long as you master this one. Okay, so let's start up once. So, what every examinee needs to know about test taking. Bakit po kailangan? Bakit need mo talaga ito? Before you undergo your readings, before you undergo with your test questionnaires, bakit po kailangan po? Why you need to know about all these test taking strategies? Why? So, for the reason, number one is preparation for tests. Number one, you need to um, uh, somewhat this is like a requirement. So preparing for tests. So you need to attend every class, okay? So pag sinabing meron tayong live masterclass Tuesday, okay? Kailangan po mag-attend po. Okay? So pag sinabing meron tayong live masterclass every weekends, you need to attend. So hindi the good thing is hindi naman tayo every single day mag-re-review, hindi naman tayo everyday nagma-mock boards, we are not everyday do this live session, but most importantly you need to attend at least every week po, you need to attend. So since you are so busy with your work, with your studies, with so on and so forth, probably since um, recorded po ito, you can glance and you can watch it anytime, okay? 24/7. Available po yung account mo 24/7. Okay, so attend every class. Next is to start early. Top ones, if you think na yung board exam mo is next week pa, next month, next 6 months, or let's say next year pa, 2023. So, you need to start early because I tell you top ones, test 2 pa lang, kulang po yung 6 months to review. Okay? So, and I hope alam niyo na po yung 5 fingers kasi yan po ang ating bread and butter, yan po ang ating pinaka-basic technique. Okay? So, yan po ang pinaka-basic natin sa lahat. So, kapag if you have difficulty on 5 fingers, or the 5 golden rules, probably you can watch it on the Padlet, or you can go glance, watch it sa ating Chatword account. Okay? Okay po ba yun? So, plan a regular study schedule. That's a schedule. So, hindi pwede na mag-aaral ako ngayon, bukas hindi. Tapos, babalik ako na mag-aaral next week. Hindi po pwede. Dapat po consistent, diligently, and always po nag-aaral. Okay? So, much more, you apply the 4 a.m. rule. Alright? So, because that is very helpful. Next is ask your instructor what to expect. Okay? So, ask your instructor what to expect. Top ones. So, if you expect easy lang, if you expect for hard questions, if you expect for more board exam tests, yan. Expect more from this one because you enroll and you pay for this one. Alright? So, you need to ask your instructor so that you get what you want. Okay? So, creating good review tools. Okay? So, top ones. Bakit po kailangan you need to take a good notes? Okay? So, why is it very important to take a good notes? Kasi, tao po lamang tayo. We can, kasi for example, you're listening now, tonight with our discussion. So, most likely, nag-take down notes po kayo kasi we're not robot, we're not like telegenic talaga, yung grabe talaga yung memory. So we need to take down notes kasi kailangan po yan. Isa sa skill ng isang test taker. Okay? So, next, you need to create a mind map. Bakit po kailangan create yung mind map? Kasi, so that you will have a guide on your studies. Let's say, for example, you're a aspiring criminologist. So, yung sa CDI, dapat meron ding mind map, di ba? Yung sa criminalistics, meron ding mind map. Diba? So for criminal law, meron ding mind map. So you need to have a overall or let's say a mind mapping of all your subjects. Okay? Next is collect related materials. So top ones, uh, it is not advisable po na marami po kayong materials. Okay? So just choose one for you. What's best po ng book reviewer. So sinabi ko sa fifth technique ng ating five golden rule or the fifth or five fingers, kailangan ng book reviewer. At least isa summarizes 4 to 5 year course. Okay? So you need to collect related materials. So wag po damihin yung review materials. And dapat po inline po yan sa syllabus, syllabi, and you follow on the schedule. Okay? Next, make a study checklist. Kailangan po yan. Tapos, if you have time to buy in the National Bookstore or any store, you need to have index cards para you can easily flip right away when you study. Okay? So, next chapter, outlines. Okay? So, for those who are late, okay lamang po kasi naka-record po ito. Don't worry. Okay? So, predicting test questions. So, to predict questions, it points the professor repeats or emphasizes in class. Okay? So, questions asked by examiners in class, questions asked by the professor in class, anything the professor writes on the board, question from mock test, homework, handouts, and questions found in the text on the sample test or on CDs or diba? CD-ROM. So, top ones, in order to have a good outcome doon sa ating board examination or let's say sa mock boards pa lamang, sa pre-board pa lamang, you need to have to predict something, most especially sa ating mga test questionnaires. So, bakit po some of the items, alam nyo, let's say for example, looks from, di ba? Very familiar sa question. Bakit alam mo yan? Because you already glanced it before. So, and mind nyo, top ones itong pagre-review natin, when we say review, just to view again. Hindi po yung pagre-review na unang glance mo pa lang. Ay, ganito pala, ito pala. So, it's not first glance, but it's review. So, review po. So, just to view again. So, meaning you know already the topics. So, balikan mo lang in order to have a mastery or full mastery of the subject. Alright? So, getting ready for the test. So, the day before the test, anong gagawin mo? On the day of the test, and also, sabi nga nila, when you eat apple, saves the doctor away. So, try eating an apple because an apple is, according to medical science, it's a good snack. So, and kanina kumain pa ako ng apple. Okay? So, avoid being around distractions. Loosen any tight clothing para po makahinga and you can have a feeling of easiness. Alright? So, stress-free techniques. Top ones. Bakit po kailangan po relaxation breathing? Kailangan po ba yan every test item or every test questionnaire? Yes, very important po yan so that you can acquire the altered states of mind. So for those new ones, probably hindi mo pa alam itong mga altered states, don't worry, I'll teach you kung paano ma-acquire yung highest intelligence. Kailangan po yan so that you can answer deeply, in-depth, more profound doon sa question. So why you need to have visualization? Bakit po kailangan niyo i-visualize na maging passer ako at maging top notcher? Bakit niyo po i-visualize ito yung mukha ng aking license? Bakit niyo po kailangan niyo i-visualize na ito yung future ko 5 years after makuha ko or after kong pumasa? Diba? Magiging manager ka, magiging boss ka, magiging CEO ka. So, kailangan po ng visualization. And next is muscle relaxation. So, isa rin good habit and technique top ones is you need to have at least monthly massage. Top ones, nagpapamassage po ba kayo? So that you'll have it, di ba? Ang massage is to relieve insomnia. So have good night's sleep. So kailangan po 'yan. Positive self-talk. Ano po yung positive self-talk, di ba? Sabi ko, I am happy and grateful the fact that I am a passer and top notcher. Dapat yan po ang binibigkas mo every test item. I am happy and grateful the fact that I am a passer and top notcher. Okay? So, only positive lamang po. Affirmative. Kasi if kapag ang mindset mo, or let's say yung thinking mo na, ay, hindi pa ako nagsisimula mag-aral. Ay, papasa ba kaya ako? Ay, ang layo ko pa. Parang babagsak. Naku, babagsak ka talaga kasi yun yung mindset mo, yun po ang binibigkas, so yun po yung self-talk mo, yun po ang always mong nasa mind. So, dapat po positive lamang po. You can do it, you can make it, you can become a passer, you can become a top notcher. Okay, brain gym exercises. Top ones, tuturuan ko po kayo paano maging memory, paano mag-acquire ng extraordinary memory. Paano po i-memorize lahat? Cover to cover naman yung book reviewer. I'll teach you kung paano. Maybe on the next session, we will have your extraordinary memory. And it's very important to drink water. So, meron po ba kayong tubig, top ones? So, drink water po kasi kaya ang utak kailangan po ng oxygen. Okay? Oxygen. So, ano bang nasa water, di ba? H2O. So, you have your hydrogen and oxygen. Okay? So, top ones, with test in hand, yung on the day talaga sa board examination, you need to listen to directions. Why is it very important to listen carefully to directions or follow instructions? And most likely, top ones, as what I've observed, karamihan talaga, marami pong hindi nagfa-follow instructions. Okay? So, marami pong hindi nagfa-follow instructions, and sadly, I can really detect po kapag hindi ka nagfa-follow instructions, you are 50-50 and you are bound for failure. So, kailangan top ones, mag-follow po tayo ng instructions ko. Ano na po ang sinabi, ano lang po ang nasa instruction, ano lang po ang nasa booklet, yun lang po ang ifa-follow. Ano po ang sinasabi ng proctor, yun po ang ifa-follow. Okay? So, you need to follow the directions. So, read the test directions and survey the test. Pag sinabing survey the test, titignan mo muna yung booklet kung kompleto ba 100 items ba, kung kompleto ba 150 items, 200 items. Saka ka magsisimula. Kasi kapag nagsimula ka na, pagdating mo ng 56, tapos wala pa lang 57, walang 58, walang 59, tapos automatic nagiging 60. Nako! Tapos ini-interrupt mo and you make a distraction sa whole venue na proctor, kulang po yung numbering ng aking booklet. Nako, probably it's too late. Tapos, yung oras mo, you have 2 hours or 3 hours to answer the exam. Nababawasan na ng half. So, might as well, you need to survey the test. So, budget your time. Read each question carefully. Kailangan po yan. Note or underline keywords and terms. So, isa sa technique din natin top ones is to have finding absolute keywords or mga keywords that would reverse the question. So, read multiple choice options carefully. Huwag po magmadali. You're given ample time. Di ba? So, kung i-divide mo lang po lahat yan, yung test items sa time mo, and if may sumobra for that item, probably you can use that. And hinay-hinay, read multiple choice options carefully. Huwag magbadali. Ang technique po, ang sinabi ko, last mock boards ng ating mga test takers, yung pumasa, sinabi ko nga, dapat po ikaw ang huling tumayo sa iyong upuan. Hindi po pwede ikaw yung mauna. Ako una. Tapos 30 minutes pa. Mataas pa yung oras. Dapat po, ikaw po yung pinakahuli tumayo sa iyong upuan. Alright? So, give each question your fullest attention. Dapat huwag mong palagpasin every test, every word sa multiple choice. Huwag nyo po palagpasin. I'm sorry. Meron pa kasing akong slight ubo. I'm sorry. So, top ones, give each question your fullest attention. Okay? So, skip once you don't know and go back later. Alright? So, using test-taking strategies, and lahat naman tayo, isa lang ang ating test question, which is under MCQs or multiple choice. And we will follow, or we will use strategies for these multiple choice items. Okay? So, you don't have to read everything, you just have to glance. Okay? So, answer is question first, then the hardest ones. Alright? Pay attention to qualifiers. Pag sinabing qualifiers, yun po mga absolute keywords. Like for example, most likely, never, least. Yun po ang magpapabaliktad sa inyong test item. Okay? If you think na, very looks familiar yung question, I know, perfect ako nito, makakasagot ako nito. Nako, wag po kaligtaan, meron po mga absolute keywords that would reverse the question. Okay? Try to anticipate the correct answer before before looking at the options. Read all the options, eliminate the ones you are incorrect. Look for options that contain the other options. These are called umbrella. Later on, you would know what's umbrella. Familiarity of the response, and sometimes the longer response may be the clue to the correct answer response. Anong technique po yan, top one? Sa 5 golden rules or sa 5 fingers. That's second technique. Or sa acronym natin is LS, longest shortest sentence method. So, most of the items na correct is nasa longer response or longer stem. Alright? So, let's say for example, so true or false strategies. Ano bang ang technique sa ating true or false? So, watch for absolutes such as always, never, or all and none. If they are present, chances are the statement is false. Kapag nakakita po kayo ng mga absolute keywords like mga always, never, or all, and none, most likely, ang isasagot mo sa board examination, false. If the statement is more detailed or specific than most, chances are it is true. Kapag detailed, kapag mataas, most likely, true. Pero konti lamang po yung mga true or false, di ba? Pero kahit true or false po yan, it would go to basic multiple choice. So, never leave a blank. You have a 50% chance of getting it right. So, let's say for example, medyo mahirap po yung number 50. Okay? So, medyo mahirap po yung number 50. So, ang titignan mo top ones, instead na i-leave mo, try to answer it. Okay? Try to answer it. Baka po, tama po yung sagot nyo. So, you have a 50% chance of getting it right. So, number 4, unusual sounding statements are likely to be, okay, false po yan. Okay? So, sa mga bagong pasok, we are discussing about the mastering the skills in test taking or test taking strategies. Paano ba sumagot ng tama? Paano ba ang tamang sagot? At ano ba ang ating i-consider once we answer certain type of questions or most likely multiple choice, kasi multiple choice lamang po yung ating board examination. So don't worry if you are delayed or late You can see this video and watch it all over again. Okay? So, top ones. Let's say for example, matching columns strategies. Ano ba yung mga sample ng matching columns? Di ba yung mga Roman numeral, di ba? Na marami. So, di ba, question, question, tapos merong Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4. Before pa mag A, B, C, D, di ba? Familiar? So, top ones, read all the items in both columns first before selecting answers. Okay? Read all the items in both columns first before selecting answers. Instead of looking at one word column first and trying to select a match, read the column with the definitions or explanations and match those to the one word column. And 3, mark easy choices first and eliminate them as you move to the more difficult. So, when you're applying for matching column strategies or yung mga Roman numeral, aalisin nyo muna yung mga distractors. Okay? Yung mga distractors. So, ang titignan nyo lamang po, ang clue nyo is yung pinakauna na process at yung pinakahuli na process. Okay? Nagets? So, mark easy choices first and eliminate them. Later on, we will have a sample. So, short answer and fill in the blank strategies. So, if you don't know the complete answer, but remember something, write it down. You may get partial credit if you are partly correct. Leaving a blank sa inyong booklet or sa inyong Scantron paper will get you nothing. Let's say 0 talaga. Pero, top ones, though, let's say for example, mahirap yung number 50. Ay, mahirap naman ito. Grabe yung critical thinking skills. Ay, kailangan talaga yung calculation. Ay, grabe talaga yung analysis dito. Ay, makapag-move naman sa next item kasi mahirap eh. So, instead nyo i-leave, dapat you try to answer it. Practice, you can apply eliminating distractors, di ba? So, you can do the elimination technique. So, that's the best solution. Dapat po, wag po kayo mag-leave ng blank kasi automatic 0 or wrong po yun. Okay? So, give general answers if you don't know the specifics. Later on, I'll give you the sample. Correct answer, 1904. Possible answer, 1900s. Okay? So, use proper grammar in completing the sentence. Okay. Okay na po yan. So, consider the number and length of lines or blank spaces to be filled in as possible close to the length of your answer. If the instructor leaves half page of your answer, be sure fill it and not with extra large writing. So, not really okay, let's proceed to the math strategies. Kapag kayo maka-encounter ng math, let's say for example, calculation, may formula, what you're going to do? Examiners whose math skills are not the strongest may be intimidated and do not do poorly only because they let nervousness take over. Katulad ko, I don't like math. Kaya nga, hindi ako ng-engineering kasi I don't like math. Pero, no choice. When I took my board examination a decade ago, meron pa ring formula, meron pa ring calculation, meron pa ring math. Basic math. So, hindi mo talaga may iwasan na walang math. Okay? So, kahit na ikaw ay criminologist, kahit ikaw ay nursing, kahit ikaw po ay teacher, kahit anong course mo pa, meron talaga yung math. So, math is no different from any other subject except that the same rules apply every time. So, if you study the rules and practice a lot, so ang technique pala nito top ones is practice, practice, practice always. Okay? So, practice methods and all the techniques. So, you are likely to do well on the test. So, kapag nahihirapan ka sa ganitong formula, nahihirapan sa ganitong solution, ang pinaka-the best to apply is to practice it every single day until ma-master niyo po. Okay? So, wala pong difference ang mathematics kapag kasali po siya sa inyong board examination. Alright? So, general rules for all tests. So you don't have to read everything. Okay? So, you need to scan the entire test, budget your time. Kapag you have 150 items divided by with the 2 hours, so probably you have a minute and few seconds to answer, di ba? So, budget. Pero ang technique talaga nito is dapat ikaw po yung huling tumayo sa iyong upuan. Dapat hindi po ikaw yung mauna. Kasi kapag ikaw yung mauna, possible hindi ka papasa on that one. Kasi minamadali mo yung exam eh. So, attempt to answer every question. Take questions at face value. So, if a question seems complicated or difficult to understand, put it in your own words. So, top ones, kapag naghihirapan ka sa question, grabe talaga yung terminologies, grabe po talaga yung mga Latin, mga Greek words. All you have to do is to make your own words and break it down into understandable parts. So, malalaman niyo po yung top ones and you will understand it because you do it in your layman's term or sa inyong colloquial term. Okay? So often the answer to a question is found in another test question. So checking over the test. Go back over and check. Be sure you answered all the questions. Let's say for example, you have 100 item test for test 1. Tapos ka na. Pero ang tanong, are you really sure na nasagutan mo lahat? Sure ka na ba talaga? So all you have to do is to check from number 1 to 100. Because on machine-scored tests, be sure you place your answers in the right spaces. Walang labis, walang kulang, hindi lalagpas sa square or sa circle when you do your shading. And most likely, you proofread your answers. Okay? Tignan. Baka meron ka na nakaligtaan. Okay? Top ones. Ano nga yung technique top ones kapag meron pong error sa inyong Scantron or sa iyong sheet, it is advisable po ba na let's say for example, number 1, ang answer mo is letter A. Tapos, when you read the succeeding items, nalaman mo na ang tamang sagot pala is letter B. Tama po ba? I-delete or let's say, i-erase yung previous answer mo to letter B. Tama po ba? The correct answer is, pwede naman, pero top ones, I tell you, automatic wrong po yun. Kasi, yung Scantron paper, or let's say, yung papel, or the machine itself is very sensitive to lead pencil. Kapag meron po siya, kahit na binura mo na, kahit binura nyo na po yung Scantron paper mo, automatic po yan wrong kasi na-detect po niya yung lead ng iyong pencil. So, do not change an answer unless you are 1,001% sure. There is indisputable evidence that your answer is incorrect. Can you provide an evidence? Can you provide proof na you are 1,001% sure na mali po yung sagot nyo? That's the time you change an answer. Kasi the last time I took my board examination, nag-change rin ako ng sagot. Okay? Pero I know some of the items are automatic wrong po yun kasi madidetect po yun ng machine. So next is you had misread or misunderstood the question. Diba? Hindi kaya ng comprehension, probably you misread or misunderstood. And you recall an information when you proceed to the next item, letter B pala ang tamang sagot. So, I erase letter A and change it to letter B. Okay? So, might as well top ones, I tell you, wag nyo pong i-change yung sagot nyo because that would be automatic wrong po yan. Kasi very sensitive po ang inyong Scantron paper. Okay? So, do not change an answer unless you have these 3. If it is indisputable, you misread or misunderstood, or you recall the right answer. Alright? So, let's say for example, post-test, tapos ka na mag-exam. If time permits, review the test questions you were not sure of immediately after leaving the room. Okay? Pero, hindi po pwede magiging marites or makipagdaldalan sa iyong mga kakilala, ano po yung tamang sagot? Kasi, nako, it would be a mistake or error. So, huwag po kayong magchismisan or makipagmarites sa inyong mga sagot after you leave your room. So, nasa sayo po yan. You need to review your answers after. So, verify your correct answers and find your answer to questions you didn't know. Record these answers for future review. Kasi, baka po, sa next time, baka po mag-retake ka. Kasi, meron kang one item na nakaligtaan. So, 74% lang pala yung general average mo. So, might as well you record all those answers. Okay? So, you don't have to read everything. So, pag sinabi pong critical thinking, kailangan po ba top 1s sa board examination ng critical thinking? The answer is yes. Kailangan po kasi kailangan merong mga you draw conclusions, meron pong mga idea, meron pong mga observation, meron pong mga given, meron pong calculation. It requires critical thinking. And as a college students, most especially us na graduate na, you're expected to advance beyond grade school methods. So yung multiple choice mo na technique doon sa yung sa kinder, sa elementary, sa high school is obsolete na. Iba na po ang technique. Wait lang, sorry. May ubo pa kasi ako. I'm sorry. So, applying good critical thinking skills is very important at kailangan po yun ma-enforce, okay? Sa inyong board examination. Ito, sample. Ito sample ha. Let's try your critical thinking skills. So, example of critical thinking in a multiple choice question. Okay, pakibasa nga top 1s. All of the following are recommended study practices except, ano pong keyword natin? Except. Pag sinabing except, meaning tama po lahat except one. Alright? A. Finding a tutor to help you prepare for a test. B. Devoting at least 2 hours of study for every hour in class. Letter C. Attending every class and taking good notes. Letter D. Joining study group. What is the correct answer for you? Alin po dyan ang naiiba? Alin po ang hindi kasali ng recommended study practices? The correct answer is letter A. A is the best answer because finding a tutor is not a study practice. Okay? Saan ba tayo? Okay. So, letter A is the correct answer. Ang naiiba or ang mali. Because finding a tutor is not a practice. So, you may reason that tutoring will help you in your studies, but the question is about study practices. Mga good habits. So, had the question read, a good practice, if you are struggling with the class is to find a tutor, then this would be an acceptable and likely correct response. So in this example, you must evaluate all the choices and determine which one does not fit with the others. The correct answer is letter A. Okay? So let's try educated guessing strategies. And this is the technique for 5, so sa mga 5 fingers, sa 5 golden rules. Anong technique po ito? That's the first technique, educated guess. So, what do you mean, in short, what do you mean by educated guessing or educated guess? Diba? Guess. Or unang tingin. Or you have the gut feeling. Diba? Or you have the instinct. Parang yung kutob mo, yun yung tamang sagot. So that you're educated guessing. So these are not substitute for good study habits. So that is why sinabi ko doon sa ating 5 fingers, only 30% chance to succeed. Not 101%, not 50%, 30% lang. So, because this is not a substitute and good for study habits. So, they are not foolproof and will not guarantee the correct answer. That is why nilagay ko lang doon 30%. Pero bakit po kailangan yung educated guessing? Because according to research, according to science, yung gut feeling mo, yung guessing mo, yung instinct mo pala is really help you on your success. Top ones, kahit na ikaw po yung meron kang dreams or meron kang ina-aspire sa in the future, maniwala po kayo sa iyong mga instinct, yung mga gut feeling, at saka yung mga guessing nyo kasi that would really help. Okay? So, help when you are not completely sure of the answer, have to narrow down the choices or choose between two reasonable good answers. Using these strategies are sure to improve your test grades. Pero kailangan pa rin gamitin yung all other items or all other techniques sa 5 fingers, not only educated guess. Okay? So, let's try to answer using frequency of occurrence strategy. Ano po ba yung frequency of occurrence strategy? Look for items that appear in more than one of the choices. So let's say, for example, this type of question. The following languages are spoken in Comoro Islands. Probably, hindi mo alam ang sagot. Pero, based po sa technique ng test-taking strategies, if you can see an item na meron po sa lahat, the following languages are spoken in Comoro Islands. Letter A, Spanish and Arabic. B, Arabic and French. C, German and Italian. Letter D, French and English. Mind nyo, top 1 sa, hindi mo alam ang sagot. Pero based po sa test-taking strategies, based po sa nalalaman mo ng mga test-taking strategies and techniques, you can answer this one. Alin po ang item or options na nandoon po lahat or all-in-one po siya. So, ang letter A, merong Arabic na nandoon sa letter B. Diba? Letter C, German and Italian. Letter D, French and English. Meron pong French sa letter B. So meaning, yung mga all-in-one, B is the correct answer because French and Arabic appear twice. Or let's say, pabalik-balik or para siyang compress na of all the answers from A, C, D. Yung mga na-compress po yung A, C, D. Nandoon po sa letter B. So that is why the correct answer is letter B. Okay? Top ones. Let's try to answer this one using the root and prefix clues strategy. Latin or Greek roots, di ba? Merong lalabas sa board examination, Latin and Greek. So knowing this will help in gleaning a partial meaning of the certain words. Let's say for example, hindi mo alam ito. Cuprous metal would appear A, bronze-like, B, gold-like, C, silver-like, D, copper-like. What is your clue, top ones? The clue is this one. What is the chemical? Ano ba yan? Chemical formula or chemical letter? Diba? Cu plus, Cu2 plus ba yan? So, cuprous. Pag sinabing cuprous, that is synonymous to copper. Pag tinignan mo siya yung sa chemistry, di ba? So, Cu equals copper. So, the correct answer is letter D, copper. So, that is how you determine root and prefix clues. How about negative prefixes? Knowing this can help in selecting a similar answer with a negative meaning. So, to prevent infection, it is recommended that hospitals use cleaning fluids, air filters, C, chemical reactants, D, disinfectants. Ano yung clue mo? Prevent infection. Anong gagamitin mo? To alleviate or help in the hospital's use. Very simple. Using negative prefixes. Pag sinabing this, either ang meaning po yan not or none. So, this means infection, disinfection, disinfectants. The correct answer is letter D, disinfectants. Okay? That is how you use your negative prefixes. How about an X? Ito po, magagamit nyo po sa iyong mathematics. Substitution strategy in math. In computational problems, when solving for X, diba? X is equals the, yung given sometimes simplifies the problem by substituting known quantities such as 2 for x. So let's say for example top ones. Okay, so yung x is just you just have to write kung for example algebraic expression or let's say algebra po yan. So you just have to alternate, or let's say for example kung ikaw ay nurse, you are doing the IV formula, di ba? Or let's say for example criminalistics, you are doing for computation for the reclusion perpetua, reclusion temporal, or let's say for example math major ka sa teaching or gen ed. You can do the computation by substituting the x to a number. Okay? So top ones, how about highest and lowest number strategy? So when numerical options vary greatly, chances are that the best response is in the middle ranges. So eliminate the highest and lowest options, top ones. Okay? Eliminate the highest and lowest options. Let's say for example, the average number of volcanic eruptions recorded annually is A, 25, B, 1000, C, 25, D, 750. What is the correct answer? Using the highest and lowest number strategy. What are the highest? 250 and 1000. Mga lowest? 25 and 750. Based on your knowledge, or let's say based on the technique, the average number of volcanic eruptions recorded annually is choose between C and D, the two numbers farthest apart. The correct answer is letter. According to the second technique, largest, smallest number. The correct answer is letter. Alin po ang tamang sagot? Letter C? Letter C po ba ang tamang sagot? The average number of volcanic eruptions recorded annually. Probably letter C. Okay? So how about this one top one? Similar choice strategy. So top ones, marami palang strategies when it comes to multiple choice. So that's why very important to master everything, this one. So that when it comes to board examination, hindi ka na mahihirapan kasi may pattern lahat. Okay? So certain questions have answers that are closely related or almost identical. Similar choice nga sinabi. So except for one detail. This should be your clue to choose one of the similar answers. The similar choices cannot both be correct, but either of them may be the correct answer using the similar choice strategy. Let's say for example, a chloroplast contains chlorine, calories, carbon, chlorophyll. What is the correct answer? Basing the similar choice strategy. Chlor. So, choose between A and D. Bakit po A and D? Kasi chlor. They contain the root chlor as chloroplast. Between A and D, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter D. The correct answer is letter D. Okay, very good. So top ones, next, opposite choice strategy. So meaning yung tamang sagot nasa opposite po. Okay? So in some cases, the best choice is between the two different or opposite choices. So let's say for example, the meaning of cognizant is A, ignorant, B, aware, C, insensitive, D, remorseful. Choose between 1 and 2, which are opposite responses. Yan, magagamit nyo po yan. Kasi top ones, this is not board exam, but it's all about test-taking strategies. So what are the opposite? Choose between 1 and 2, which are opposite responses. 1 and 2, ignorant, aware. Between A and B, what is the correct answer? The meaning of cognizant is Letter A po ba? Sige nga, paki-google nga. Paki-google nga. Cognizant. Transform experiences to stay and have a fast-changing world. Yun lang. Ay, no. Hindi pala. Cognizant means. Tama ba? The meaning of cognizant is having knowledge or being aware. Ah, okay. Alright. The correct answer is letter B, aware. So the meaning of cognizant is letter B. Bakit po letter B? So opposite po ito, ang opposite ng aware is ignorant. So by using the opposite choice strategy, since ang hinahanap is the meaning of cognizant, so nearest knowledge po is letter B. Okay? So next, how about the umbrella option strategy? So when one option encompasses the other options or is more inclusive, choose it. So, paano gamitin yung umbrella option strategy? So, test anxiety can be reduced by A. Practicing relaxation techniques. B. Deep breathing. C. Muscle relaxation exercises. Or letter D. Visualization exercises. What is the correct answer? Hinahanap po paano i-reduce ang iyong anxiety. Let's say for example, take ng board examination. Paano ma-reduce ang iyong anxiety? The correct answer is, alin po ang nag-i-include ng lahat? Ang deep breathing, nasa A. Ang muscle relaxation exercises, nasa A. Ang letter D, visualization exercises, nasa A. So lahat po ng B, C, D, nasa letter A. So that is your umbrella option. Alin piliin mo yung mga all-in-one. So A includes all other options. So nasa letter A po lahat. So that is how umbrella option is to be used. Okay? How about complex question strategy? How can you use the complex question strategy? So these appear to be difficult but are actually simple to solve once you learn how. So read the following example and mark your answer. So let's say for example, this one top ones. So complex question strategy, medyo mahirap ito kaunti. Okay? So, as a home health aide, you are serving a patient her meal. In which order should the following steps be accomplished? So you have your, aside from Roman numeral, pwede rin numbers. So provide eating utensils, wash your hands, dispose leftovers, prepare food, and serve food. So which order should the following steps be accomplished? So kindly rearrange. Top ones, kapag ganito ang technique sa complex question strategy, ang hahanapin mo lang yung pinakauna at yung pinakahuli. Okay? Ang technique dito, basta ganito, mga Roman numeral, or let's say complex strategies, ang hahanapin mo lang po yung pinakauna, pinakahuli. Kasi kapag mahanap mo na yung pinakauna, pinakahuli, kapag tinignan mo sa options, A, B, C, D, you can really find the answer. Cross out ito B, C, D kasi na-double. So, find the first step. Alin po ang una? Number 2. Alin po ang 2? Nasa B and D. Find which have the numbers 2 listed first. Now, find the last step. Ang last step is, ang first is wash your hands. Kapag kumakain, di ba? Wash your hands. Ano yung pinakahuli? Dispose, di ba? Yung pagkatapos ng yung kumain, di ba? Yung mga leftovers. Of the two options that had number 2 first, which has the number 3 as the last? So number 2, 2, 2, 2. Alin po ang number 3 last? Hindi pwede C kasi number 4 yung una So letter D. So the correct answer is letter D. Bakit po letter D? Because yung pinakauna is, kailangan maghugas ng kamay. Ang last is dispose leftovers. Alin po ang 2 and 3? Nagsisimula sa 2, that end on 3. Only letter D. So that is the correct answer. That is how you use your complex question strategy or Roman numeral or complex numbers. How to answer judgment question strategy. Top ones. How to answer. These questions are not difficult, but the choices are. They may be all good choices, and you have to select the best one. So the best answer is the one uses common sense. Top 1 sa common sense. Ano ang kailangan sa board examination? Sometimes po, common sense lang ang gagamitin. Is the choice that knowledgeable, capable, and experienced individuals agree? The answer is, and its best answers the question, even though all other responses are valid. So top ones, pakibasa yung red part. Be careful not to let your own opinion or personal experience. Top ones, kapag sumasagot po kayo sa board examination po, hindi po pwede yung mga opinion nyo or value judgment or yung mga personal, yung adikain mo or let's say personal political experience, hindi po pwede. We are basing it by the book. Kapag sumasagot po tayo ng board examination, by the book po tayo. Hindi po by judgment, which may differ from expert opinions. Sway your judgment. So let's try to answer this one. I think pang nursing ito. So probably yung nurses could answer this one. Which nursing diagnosis would be most appropriate for the client who has undergone the full course of ECT? Ano ba yung ECT? Electrocautery? Or electrocardio? Diba? A. Knowledge deficit related to memory. B. Non-compliance related to knowledge deficit. C. Altered thought processes related to the adverse effects of ECT. Or letter D. Fear related to the unknown. What is the correct answer? Alin po dyan? What is your keyword? Most appropriate for the client. The correct answer is, okay, while A and B are valid, C is the best answer because it encompasses A and B. Top ones, judgment, hindi sa value judgment, para siyang, parang all in one. So, while A and B are correct or valid, pero pag tinignan mo letter C, nandoon yung A and B. Knowledge deficit, meron ding knowledge deficit. So all in all, when you generalize, altered thought processes related to the adverse effects of ECT. Oh, keyword, ECT, ECT. So D is more likely to occur prior to ECT. The correct answer is letter C. Okay? How about this one? Grammatically correct strategy. Ang dami palang strategy, no? So if an alternative does not make a grammatically correct sentence, eliminate it. Let's say, for example, the basic purpose of an educational grant is A. You need to supplement college costs. B. To help financially needy students. Letter C. To promote college success. Or letter D. Achieving high grades. Alin po dyan ang purpose ng educational grant? Only 2 or 3 make grammatically correct sentence. 3 is incorrect because a grant does not necessarily promote success. 2 is the correct answer. So, ang purpose pala ng educational grant, kaya nga mayroong mga scholarships, mayroong mga, di ba, mga magsaysay award, mayroong mga San Miguel sponsorship in order to help the financially needy student. Okay? Pero mayroong mga requirements. Like, for example, kailangan honor ka, di ba? Dapat Latin ka, di ba? Valedictorian ka. So, the correct answer is letter B. Very good, letter B. Okay? So, top ones. How about the absolute strategy? How about the absolute strategy? If an absolute, such as always, every, never, all, none, etc., is present in any of the options, consider the option false. Diba? Pag sinabi sa true or false, bakit po? Bakit po automatic false po yan? Because that would have a negative impression doon sa tanong or sa option. So let's say for example, the dropout rate in high school is on the increase because all students are unmotivated. B, some students are disillusioned with school. C, students never take high school seriously. Or letter D, every high school student has emotional problems. The correct answer is the dropout rate in high school is on the increase because letter B is the correct, since some is not an absolute. Okay? Ano nga yung mga absolute? Ito yung tatandaan nyo top ones. Baka po, ito po magre-reverse or magpapa-error sa inyong sagot. Always, every, never, all, none. Di ba? Some students are disillusioned with school. So that is the correct answer. So top ones. Pag sinabi pong true or false, a person who is experiencing anxiety always needs to take medication. True or false? That's false because yung absolute keyword is always. Ano nga ang kailangan natin? Always, every, never, all. Diba? Pang general. So, false po. Without the right intentions, a student will never succeed. True or false? That is false. Bakit po false? Because of the word never. Okay? Absolute keyword. How about the last part? Most people today have an opportunity to obtain a quality education. True or false? The correct answer is true because more detailed and it is factual. Okay? That is how you detect true or false. How about this one? The exception or most different answer strategy. So meaning top ones, yung pinakaiba po sa options, yun po possible yung tamang sagot. Okay? So read the question carefully and pick the option that is different from or does not belong with the other options. So how about this one? Which of the following would be an example of cognition? Cognition. A, driving a car. B, swimming. C, hiking. Or D, studying for an exam. What is the correct answer, top ones? Diba? Driving, swimming, hiking are similar. While B, studying is different. So alin po ang naiiba? Based on the strategy, which is exception or most different. The correct answer is letter D. Bakit po letter D? Ang letter D hindi po kasali or ang letter D lamang po yung naiiba. Okay? Next, longer response strategy. Ano, very familiar. Saan mo ito makikita tapon sa ating technique? 5 fingers. That is second technique sa 5 fingers. Longer stem or longer sentence method. Longer, shorter sentence method. So sometimes the correct response is longer than the others. When more time is put into developing a response, it may be the correct one. Okay? So how about this one? Of the following, this is the most effective therapeutic method for controlling depression. A, using hypnosis. B, applying techniques of psychotherapy. C, combining therapeutic techniques with doctor-prescribed antidepressant medication. Or letter D, psychoanalysis. What is the correct answer, top ones? Based on the technique, which is the longer stem or longer response. The correct answer is, kahit hindi mo basahin, alam mo na ang tamang sagot. The correct answer is letter C. Bakit po letter C? Kasi siya po ang pinakamahabang sentence of all the options. So, what's the technique for this one? Sa 5 fingers, the second technique, which is the longer, shorter sentence method. Okay? Pero 30% chance lamang po magsasucceed ka. So, it's not a guarantee pa rin. Okay? How about the keyword strategy? Choose a response that has the same or similar word in it as a question. So the loci system of memorization is generally more effective than repetition because A, it creates a location loci in which to store information. B, it enforces one to repeat information again and again. C, it makes information go directly into the long-term memory. Letter D, it's easier to use. What is the correct answer? Using the keyword strategy. What is the keyword? Loci system. Or loci ba yan? Or loci? Loci. Loci. So, similar siya sa letter A. So, A is the correct because loci appears in both question and answer. So, aside from appearing both question and answer, so because the term or the definition is it creates a location in which to store information. Okay? Nagets, tough ones? Okay, so now you will have an opportunity to put your educated guessing strategies to work on the following tests. So good luck and have fun. Okay? So top ones, give me one ultimate reason paano bumagsak or paano bumagsak sa board exam. Sige nga, sige nga. Sige nga, each one of you, sige. Bigyan mo ako ng reason. Paano or paano bumagsak sa exam? Sino ba mo makapagbigay ng sagot? Give me at least one reason. Papalya ka, magfe-fail ka sa exam. Give me one reason. Pwedeng hindi nag-aral. Possible, di ba? Pwedeng hindi nag-follow sa syllabus binigay ng PRC. Possible po ba? Yes, possible. All the reason para mag-fail sa exam, hindi gumamit ng test-taking strategies. Pwede, di ba? Pwede. How about, yes, very good. Not following instruction. Yan po yung isa sa mga problema ko sa top ones. Yung last time na nag-take ng mock boards and an actual board exam. Hindi talaga nag-follow instruction. So, meaning, kapag hindi ka nag-follow instruction, you are 50-50 already. So, good news, top ones, okay? Good news. Since holiday naman tayo ngayon. So, I'll give you a verse from James 1, verses 2 to 5. So, okay lang po yan kapag iba po yung sect belief mo or if you're a Muslim or Jehovah ka ba. So, my brothers and sisters, when you have many kinds of troubles, you should be full of joy. Dapat po always excited. So, ang technique pala top ones, dapat excited ka lang always. Dapat excited ka na nagiging passer top-notcher ka. Dapat excited ka na masasagot mo yung lahat. Dapat excited ka na ma-memorize mo lahat. Tapos excited ka dahil magiging top 1 ka. You should be full of joy because you know that these troubles test your faith. Top ones, these troubles test your faith. And this will give you patience, top ones. Kapag merong hindrance, merong hurdle, meron po mga challenges, dyan po lalabas ang yung faith nyo. Kapag dyan lalabas ang faith, dyan po lalabas po yung patience nyo. So let your patience show itself perfectly in what you do. Most especially sa board examination or let's say sa review. Then you will be perfect and complete and you will have everything you need, top ones. So huwag kalimutan magdasal, manalangin, if you have this kind of faith. But if any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. I-ask mo po. Kapag kailangan mo ng sagot, kailangan mo ng wisdom, kailangan mo ng knowledge, kailangan mo ng intelligence, kailangan mo i-memorize, you need to ask for it. He is generous to everyone and will give you wisdom without criticizing it. I repeat, generous po ang poong may kapal to every one of you. Each one of you attend tonight. And He will give you the wisdom without criticizing you. Okay? Nag-gets? Top one. So, huwag po mawala ng pag-asa. So, dapat be positive, be excited. Dahil ikaw po yung susunod papasa at magtatap sa licensure examinations. Okay? So, nothing is impossible. Okay, top ones? So, top ones, I will not hold you long. And just be prepare lang po kasi I'll give you items or let's say board questions possible that will come out in the exam and it will just pop out in your chatwork account. Okay? Okay po ba yung top ones? So, um, um, just wait for it. So we will have daily cheats. So daily po, meron pong lalabas na possible that will come out in the board. So antabayanan niyo po 'yan kasi at saka aaralin niyo po 'yan kasi that is possible that will come out in the exam. Okay? So top ones, any questions? Any questions? I will off na the recorder.